Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. To all the honorable board members, just maray na hapon tabi sa inyong lubos, maray na hapon sa inyong amin. Considering that we have two new board members in their ex-official capacities that will be joining us this 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay, it is only fitting that the presiding officer informs everyone here in present of their authority to actually sit and be part of the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay. So now I would be reading the resolution from the Office of the Liga ng mga Barangay Albay Chapter, which legally gives the basis for board member ex-officio Denise Misolanya to represent the ABC chapter in Albay. And for the information of everyone, I would like to read the resolution. Resolution number 03 series of 2022. Resolution conducting special election due to the permanent vacant position for the position of Liga ng mga Barangay Albay Provincial Chapter President, Vice President, and one Board of Director, and the final and official result in the recently concluded special election last July 8, 2022 at the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay Session Hall. For purposes of brevity, I would just be reading the dispositive portion. Now therefore, on motion of Honorable Brian B. Arantia, Temporary Presiding Officer, Teodoran, confirm and proclaim the winners in the duly concluded special election. President Denise Misolanya, Vice President Eddie Terol, Board of Director Bernie S. Procano. Be it resolved as it is hereby resolved by the Liga ng mga Barangay Albay Provincial Chapter, the conduct of special election due to the permanent vacant position for the position of Liga ng mga Barangay Albay Provincial Chapter President, Vice President, and one Board of Director, and the final and official result in the recently concluded special election last July 8, 2022 at the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay Session Hall. Resolved further that copies of this resolution be furnished to the Office of the Liga ng mga Barangay sa Pilipinas National Chapter through Honorable Eden Chua Pineda, Honorable Noel E. Rosal, Governor of the Province of Albay, yours truly as the Vice Governor of the Province of Albay, and other concerned agencies. Approved this 8th day of July 2022 at the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay, Philippines. I hereby certify to the correctness of the foregoing resolution. Signed, Melody O. Salomon, Secretary, Liga ng mga Barangay Albay, President Hobeliar. So congratulations, and let's all give a warm round of applause to our new member, Board Member Denise Misulani. Congratulations. Also, I would be reading the authority to sit and be a part of this provincial board. Board member ex officio from the Philippine Councilors League, John Gio Ong Bongao. This is a letter coming from the Philippine Councilors League, signed by National President Jose Nelson Tatasala and National Chairman Danilo C. Dayang Hirang. I would just read the pertinent portions of the said letter, addressed to the honorable members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay. Honorable gentlemen and ladies, warm greetings from the PCL. Please be informed that Honorable John Gio O. Bongao of Tabaco City has been appointed as Interim Provincial Federation President of Albay Federation effective July 1, 2022, in accordance with the succession provision of the PCL, Constitution and bylaws. Attached herewith is the authority to assume. So, ladies and gentlemen, this document speaks for itself, and I would like to warmly welcome our newest member, one of the new members of the board, no other than Board Member John Gio Ong Bongao. Palapakan po natin ang ating bagong board members. So, at this point, I would like to request the Sangguniang Secretary to please call the roll. Oh, by the way, it's very important for everyone to know that now we have a new senior board member. And it's important that this be made public, considering that whatever happens to the Vice Governor, he or she will be assuming the position as such. And initially, we had problems to determine how to actually compute the ranking among the board members. But our Secretary to the Sangguniang took it upon herself and wrote the Complex Main Office in Manila, in Intramuros, and we were able to secure a letter from them whereby all the board members elected in the recently concluded elections were ranked. I would not read their rankings individually. I would just let everyone know that the name of the candidate who garnered the highest percent distribution at 44.90%, effectively making her rank first and being legally assuming the role as senior board member is none other than board member Ate Glenda Ong Bongao. So congratulations. So Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Okay, roll call. The Honorable Edson Director Hilagman, Honorable Baby Glenda Bongao, Honorable Dante Arandia, Honorable Melissa Atagesa Armilla, Honorable Vicente Baltasar III, Honorable Reynaldo Bragais, Honorable Gerardo Palmiano, Honorable Eva Josephine Ribaya, Honorable Raul Rosal, Honorable Jesus Salceda Jr., Honorable Victor Siga Jr., Honorable Denise Brisolania, Honorable John Gio Bongao, and Honorable Jesus Endo. Mr. Chair, all members of the board are present.
Okay, with all members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay hereby present, the Chair certifies that there's a quorum. We can now proceed with today's order of business. But before that, I would like to suspend our inaugural session to give way to the fetching of our Honorable Governor Noel E. Rosal by our daily board members headed by Senior Board Member Glenda Ongbongao from the 1st District, Honorable Melissa Abadeza Armidilla from the 2nd District, and Honorable Eva Josephine Ibaya from the 3rd District. Session in recess. Alright, session resumed. Okay, before we hear the executive message of Honorable Governor Noel E. Rosal, I would like to hear a motion from any of the board members present for the approval of the order of business. Okay, the Honorable Victor Ziga Jr. is recognized.
Mr. Chair, may I move for the approval of the order of business? So move.
Alright, there's a motion duly seconded by board members Glenda Ongbongao and Reynaldo Bragatis. Okay, said motion to approve our order of business is hereby granted. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now all hear the executive message of Honorable Governor Noel Enriaga Rosal.
Mr. Chair, may I move to Mr. Chair, may I move that the vision session first because we were...
Yeah, we have already a issue session.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. The Honorable Vice Governor, S.L. Drexler, the Honorable Members of the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Department Heads, fellow workers in the government, guests, my fellow Albayanas. Pleasant afternoon, everyone. My task and yours at this moment of our governance in this journey is to get us back on the road. Starting with defining our strategy that meets the immediate needs as well as the long-term task to ensure continuous process of improvement and understanding. We have been able to withstand thus far the violent onslaught of the coronavirus. And this, I would like to congratulate, palakpakan natin ang ating sanggunian and of course the provincial government. But these efforts must be sustained as we move forward to fully address the impact of the pandemic and accelerate economic recovery as part of my inaugural address. My dear colleagues, as public servants, we will have to reset our policies. We need to reassess. We need to rethink the way we govern under this new administration. This will have substantial impact, changing the conduct of the daily life of Albayanos. Like any major crisis, the pandemic and the resulting recovery phase present the opportunity to review and reset the programs, policies, and even the way the government or the provincial government operates to rebuild better and to make the economy stronger and more agile and the citizens efficiently served. Shifting of priorities and realigning spending policies are a must. We will ensure that all this will be in place. This will be the priority focus of the provincial government in this action, without losing sight of our constituents' need in alleviating poverty, sustaining a stable economy, assuring an educated and healthy workforce, maintaining peace and order. For all times and in all contexts, I am confident that we can achieve this without the full support of this august body headed by our beloved Vice Governor and Senator. Although we expect a slowdown in government revenue collections that will result in a decrease in our national tax allocation share, this will be a big problem. To give you an advance information, my dear members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, this year we will reduce by about 400 plus million compared to for next year compared to this 2022 era. And we have, of course, our local government units. I forgot to mention them. Palakpakan natin ang ating invited by the Sangguniang, the local government of every municipality in our province. Alam ko lahat man sila will be affected. Expected po natin as during the briefing during the transition period of the Mandanas Garcia ruling which is now in effect this year. We will intend to sustain our disbursement through a prioritization of programs and projects based on importance and urgency. Take note, my dear members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, the priorities of my administration are as follows: health, nutrition, and wellness. We will support human resources for our health programs, which deploys not only doctors, nurses, and other health professionals to disadvantaged municipalities and barangays, but also the provision of personal protective equipment, medicine, medical supplies, health laboratories. As you all know, I've already visited 3 of our 9 hospitals operated by our provincial government. And still, I will visit them and will report to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan what are the priorities, if we need additional funds, or what are the things to be done in order to serve and, of course, to fulfill that our Albayanos deserve a better healthcare program. We will pursue a hospital modernization program as we need to upgrade our healthcare facilities, giving priority to areas with large number of poor families I would like to emphasize, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Sangguniang, that during the turnover, our Governor Alfonso Bicol, we talk about the provincial hospital, which he has already started. I would like to assure Albayanos that we have to continue this, because this is one of the requirements if we want really to fully implement the universal healthcare. Because we need referral hospital of our own, which is under the level 2 category. We will improve our nutrition and immunization programs and access to other health services. We will expand and upgrade our medical infrastructure in order to augment our health systems and improve emergency response capability. Members of the Sangguniang, our beloved Vice Governor, I would like to emphasize to you, not only in our city or in the town proper of our municipalities. Gusto ko ulit buksan natin na dapat pare-parehas ang pagserve natin. Hindi lang yung mga nakikita ka, but those in the farmland, in the islands, they deserve our services by giving importance. It's not only by word, but it should be by the allocation of funds, and of course, giving them the necessary support when it comes to human resources. To curb malnutrition and set the foundation for the lifelong health of all Albayanos, we will provide nutrition intervention packages, including supplemental feeding. Just to give you an idea, I did this for the last 6 years as mayor of the city of Legazpi. This is very important because we need to augment the support of the national government. As we all know, because of the implementation of the Garcia-Mandana's ruling, this is not only about the increase of IRA, to borrow the word of former Congressman Gonzales. These are big, long time deprived for local government. Sa atin talaga ito. If you will still recall, ipinaglaban ko ni Governor Mandanas and Governor Garcia. This is about now the default function. Ito ang medyo mahirap dito. Even down to the lowest member of the local government, ang mga barangay, they have ready to implement now. And with this, we have to make use of the funds. The Provincial Health Office will spearhead the recovery of services for Albayanas. We will establish a system to ensure that there will be no out-of-pocket expense for liabilities in hospitals for enlargement. Walang pa naman natin na tayo lahat nito. Pangakot natin ito sa mga kababayan. This is all that we say. Hindi pa man ako nagagana. Maniwala ka mo, mahina man ang pag-intindi ko sa universal healthcare. Kung nagpa-briefing ako sa mga undersecretary, sa mga mababa lang ng mga pwesto dito sa DOE, sa local government of Legazpi. When you say universal healthcare, I would like to take advantage of it. Kung nandito sa mga mayors ka. When you say universal health service, it should start on our municipal health offices. Yun ang mga referring hospitals natin or primaries. And since tawag natin referral hospital will be the district hospital. Kaya we have to strengthen that. Kaya kuhan, mag-ilipa kita, magpapatawag ang committee of all the MSOs together with the mayors. Of course, our Sangguniang Panlalawigan for the necessary appropriation. We need, I'll tell you my friends, my fellow Albayanos, we have to ensure to maximize the potential of universal healthcare. We will use the Universal Healthcare Act as framework for health in order to ensure equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare and protection against financial risk. We will do this in partnership with the Department of Health and the different municipalities and cities in the province of Albay. The second, education. To ensure that no child is left behind in terms of education, we will be extending financial assistance, specifically for private junior high school students in areas with shortage of public high schools. And of course, with our special educational fund, I would like to assure the Sangguniang Panlalawigan that I will make use of this in order to support our various schools in the different municipalities and cities of our province. We will provide textbooks and instructional materials, technical vocational equipment, classroom and school buildings, and support the computerization program in order to be a par with the present time. I tell you, the competition is very tough when it comes to education. But I do believe, dito pwede na ang sarong aking taga-isla kang Cabraray, o taga-isla kang Bacan, o taga-West Coast kang Albay, na mas matibay ang mga aking taligid sa Legazpi o sa Tapaco. Then, kaya matataram. We just have to expose our children, especially for the information technology, the internet, kay buhan. Because we will again be depriving them the opportunities to see the world in order for them to be competitive when it comes to learning processes. We will expand our scholarship. The students belonging to not only to those mga matatag, but to those marginalized and poor families, which is the essence of governance. Ibuhuntang madali para sa itong mga nagatios ng mga pamilya o mga albayans ang pagkuha kay scholarship. Amanan tayo ni Kabos kung paano ka mapadali. We need really to get more funds, and this is, I will work with the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. The social protection, the global health menace presents a serious risk that necessitates the protection of the most vulnerable. Thus, with the support of this august body, we will set aside funds for the social pension for indigent senior citizens. Palakpakan naman natin ang mga senior citizens. Hindi sa pinangako ko ito, but in one of our seminar, under the Garcia Madanas ruling, maraming na mga senior citizen nagpaaram na sa suya kaya na-enjoy ang social pension. 500 magana. We will do it slowly. Hindi naman pwede bigla o kaya. But they are now on stage. Kaya kung lang i-prioritize ka muna the poorest of the poor. This I will have the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to appropriate funds for say 1 year. Hindi ko muna sasabihin ng amount. Tabagang ang turulogin yung mga members ng Sangguniang kung perang i-activate ko. Pero pag-urulayan din na kung paano, because remember, it may be in hundreds of millions, it may be 100 million. Because remember, we have thousands of senior citizens. Kung i-divide ka yan sa 500 times 12, kung 100 million, kailan lang ang ma-avail, only about 16,000. Kaya, I think we just have to deliver the message na mapagbigyan ka. But right now, there is a pending, I just hope the President signed already. The 500 social pension was already elevated to 1,000 already. I don't know if it will now be implemented under the new administration. This will be addition to the social pensioners and the beneficiaries identified by the DSWD. Provision for financial assistance to senior citizens, persons with disability, and displaced workers will be extended to mitigate the adverse impact of the economic crisis, natural and man-made calamities, and of course, the pandemic. My administration puts a premium on providing benefits to targeted Albayanos, individuals and families, to assist them to deal with the crisis situation that threaten their welfare. This is a big issue, but I will not, when I deliver now the budget of the regional government of Albay, to this August budget. To help local businesses, including the micro, small, and medium enterprises, to recover as we calibrate the opening of the domestic economy. We must ensure that technical assistance and credit opportunity is always available to these productive sectors of the economy. We will implement these programs in partnership with the national agencies such as the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Labor, and the financial institutions. My administration will be taking the recent sharp rise in the prices of rice and fresh produce, which is one of the factors pushing food price inflation. Thus, our aim is to invest in public goods and services, such as farm-to-market roads, irrigation, and storage which can reduce production and marketing costs. I would like also to emphasize to this August body, as a local city executive, as a mayor, I do believe that the stabilization fund or stabilizing our farmers, especially on their needs, like beneath fertilizer, machineries, or tractors. I learned this in China. I tell you, there are billions in population, but because of the program of inclusive growth, giving importance of giving assistance. Alam nyo, sa Amerika, sa China, may mga kwarta na ang mga parauma, pero yaw pa ang suporta ng gobyerno. I'm not against the building of many buildings in above our agricultural program. But I do believe, bago yan, tabangan ka muna ang mga parauma. Tabangan ka sila, because we now, the escalating price, I tell you, I don't think they will survive, especially with this ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine. We will ensure that our farmers are protected amid recent development in the agriculture sector to encourage them to convert to organic agriculture. We will render technical assistance to farmers and fishermen to increase production as the only source of income, especially in the coastal areas. Before I assumed office, I went to Manila to talk to the Department of Agriculture. Ito ang gusto ko, not only for our local funds, but also in partnership with the national government. Kasama, baka makalimutan natin ang ating mga parasila. Our fishermen, our other sectors, especially our transportation sectors, from the academy, various sectors of our society, will be always given a share in our funds. The healthy environment, crucial to the improvement and upgrading of living conditions, is a healthy environment. The role of the government is vital in ensuring that the people are protected from pollution and risk. As a result of environment degradation, to boost the effort to address the effects of climate change, we are undertaking some steps in the control and regulation of economic activities around the foot of Mayondo chain and await its further destruction. We have to intensify the implementation of the quality regulation program, not only by stimulating local communities through investment, not only to provide jobs, but also to increase the income of the provincial government. In my meeting with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, my directive now is to make sure ang ating quarry, ipagpapatuloy ka. But this is the strategy. We will get the clearance from the DNR. Those areas that will impact the safety or makakatulong sa mga barangay. Like for example, ang ating mga gullies. I have now asked the support of the DNR para ma-maximize ang potential ng sa Tulio Regalo sa Tulio Kamal na Diyos. But I would like to assure the Albayanos that the income should benefit every Albayanos in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of other social services. And I already directed the task force to ensure now, tingnan na yung mga areas that can help in case of typhoon, in case of lahar, na kaipuhan sa aliwan. Meaning, this is now more on science. So kaipuhan ta na dapat aliwan, iyo ang katuyang ipaprioritize. Meaning, ang katuyang quarry not only for economic, but more so to rehabilitate itong isakta at naputong mayan especially the many guys. I tell you, this quarry is a big issue now in Albay. But we have really to be very careful, and we have also informed our people na hindi po kaipuhan ka. May mga areas na dapat i-quarry ka for katuyang i-drenching para sa safety ka gamos. This I would like to assure everyone na katuyang Penrock, aaliuntan, yan ang pinapun ng mga middleman. And this, I laid my position, dinumpa ako yun katuyang pagdalanan, and I asked the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to support me on this. Walang pangata naman ang katuyang mga sanggunian. So, kung kita may pagkakasala, kung may nakita ka ng mga abuso, ipadala lang po sa kanyang opisina. Now, for our economic needs, for our materials, i-fast-track ta ang satuya 5 important needs para maka-operate. Number 1, Certificate of ECC. Number 2, the location clearance, the status of the clearance. Number 3, a genuine governor's permit. And finally, the implement of the DPWH clearance or certificate that no quarrying should be done 1 kilometers upstream or downstream on any government infrastructure. I would like again to assure you, all eyes are on me and on the potential government. And this, I would like to assure you that we have to do what is best for all of us. For the continuing provision for the Albayanos' basic needs, ensuring food security, my administration will be taking the recent sharp rise in the prices of rice and fresh produce, which is one of the factors pushing food price inflation. This again, will like to assure you, we need some legislation. Crucial to the improvement and upgrading of living conditions is a healthy environment. That's why we have to continue our programs for the environment. To continue the pollution control programs, mangrove areas and micro watershed programs, including the establishment of the Eco Park at Karatagan, Tiluran, and the establishment of mini hydroelectric projects are among those priorities of the Environment and Natural Resources Office of the Province of Albay, which could solve environmental issues. Gusto ko lang buksan sa sanggunian ngayon. So pag-ikot-ikot ko, hindi lang quarry ang problema ka. I would like to emphasize the Sula Channel. This is now being abused. I would like to ask the support of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Nagre-reclaim sinaluman, bawal yan. And I will again go back there, now as a governor, to ensure now the full attention of the local government of Bicol to stop all these illegal acts. Sula is a natural treasure ng Albay. Kung magdumang ka mo, mahiling nito. Akala nito private na. May mga bulungan, may mga fish cage. You know, Sula, in those generations, may 15th century, pag desa iniginito, nakasupok sa mga desa pinadalan, dahil pa na naroon tapos ka high school, sinabihan ako pagduman. Go! Bakit bawal niya? Diba? Mga day panginadalan niya. Nakasupok sa kuya. They are right to call all local governments. Although you have your authority, but you cannot abuse your authority. My dear mayors, you have to exercise the full context of the law. And reclamation is not under your authority. It is a national. You have to secure the clearance of national. I'm sorry, that hindi ko, pero I have to emphasize this because nandito, nanonood ko sa mga kasalban. Punto-punta yan because nobody will believe us anymore. Wala nang maniniwala sa tuloy. Lalo na kung nag-iro, mga government officials, mga government officials, diba? Iyon na naapuso. Bako sa pagbukas ng sakuyang bangko, many road opening in Legazpi. Ano ang road opening sa Legazpi? Farm to market road. May pinapod mo nga ako, road to my farm. Yung mo na akong pinapod dyan, but you get any property na nagbakal ako dyan na. Because I want to emphasize leadership by example. Kaya, I feel Sangguniang, I hope you support me. Nobody should be above the law. Ay buhan ta, ipalimita mo yan. Bako ta si Mayor, si Governor Rosal ang natuloy ng gobernador. We have enforced the law to the fullest. And this I would like to assure, especially our infrastructure program. Remember, Albay and Legazpi is noted as one of the best in the country right now. This we owe to our congressmen, to our partners in the national government. Kaya puhan ta na pagbayungon to strengthen our infrastructure because the fourth important that Albay should get or should implement. I would like to assure the Sangguniang there are 4 aspects to make us competitive. Number 1, infrastructure. Number 2, economic dynamism. Number 3, government efficiency. And lastly, efficiency. Because of the climate change phenomenon. And this, we cannot go wrong. Ladies and gentlemen of the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, we are confident that we are on the right track. I am determined to stay on this track with your full support to give life to the dreams of all Albayanos, to give them a comfortable life that they aspire for not only for their families, but also for their children and the generations after. Again, we may not be perfect. We are not saints. But I hope all of us now should, as given the mandate by the people, let us work for our people. Mabuhay ang Albay. God bless.
At this point, I would like to yield the chair to our senior board member, Glenda Ongongao, so that I will be allowed to also deliver my inaugural address.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Good afternoon to each and everyone. Governor Noel P. Rosal, the Vice Governor, Honorable Edsel Greco Lagman, will now deliver his inaugural speech. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Presiding Officer. First of all, I would like to say that whenever a local chief executive delivers his executive message, every one of us must be informed that that is policy. So I would like to request the Secretary of Sangguniang to give copies of the said executive message to all the honorable members of the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay. And I would like to request as well Honorable Mayor Gisela Manubistro of the City of Tabaco be given as well a copy so that she would in turn give a copy to Congressman Edsel Lagman and to Vice Mayor Jeff David of the City of Ligao to give a copy to Honorable Representative Fernando Didi Cabredo and to our board member Jessup Salceda to give a copy to our Honorable Congressman of the 2nd District, Joey Salceda. Because, you know, based on the marching orders of our Governor, it seems that funding is required. And to all the Honorable Board members who heard his 5-point agenda, please be informed that we will play a very active role on those particular sectors that he mentioned earlier. So today, is a very important day in local governance in our progressive and beautiful province. This afternoon, it is my honor and privilege to preside over the inaugural session of the newly constituted 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay, or SPA. This is why I, together with the honorable board members, are so honored by the presence of our fellow elective officials who have so graciously accepted our invitation to be a part of one of the most indispensable features of local governance, to have a fully functioning provincial council that will deal with the business of coming up with excellent local legislation and policies that both mirror our common goals and aspirations. At this point, allow me to again acknowledge your Honorable Governor Noel Irosal. Palakpakan po natin siya. Thank you very much, good Governor. And I would also like to say thank you for the presence of Mayor Crisel Lagman of Tabaco City. Palakpakan po natin si Mayora. Vice Mayor Nestor San Pablo of Tabaco City. Our new mayor in the municipality of Macdito, Mayor Rebecca Kayak Chen, together with her Vice Mayor Carlito Belludo, Vice Mayor Jeff David of the City of Ligao, Mayor Chic Capuspino and Vice Mayor Abdel Carbulio of the municipality of Malinao, former Mayor and now Vice Mayor Jemang Hoko of the municipality of Inubatan, former Mayor and now Vice Mayor Sherilyn Sampal of Punanggi, and of course, all the councilors present from the 15 municipalities and 3 cities of Albay, nakalaot at salamat sa inyong presensya. At this point, allow me also to say thank you to my indefatigable frontline and support staff of the Office of the Vice Governor and all my coordinators and leaders from the whole province of Albay. Nakalaon natin salamat sa inyong pagtrabaho in Maray para sa satuyang opisina. And of course, to each and everyone here present from the official family of Honorable Noel Irosal, our Governor, our department heads, are his alter egos. So it's very important that they're also present. So kailangan natin salamat man sa inyong presensya. Palapakan po natin ang ating mga department heads. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I accept with utmost gratitude and humility the very important tasks conferred upon me as your elected Vice Governor. Having accepted this obligation, I now liken myself to a loyal soldier whose #1 marching order is to continue the journey, to bridge and connect our goals and visions on the one hand, with the overriding realities of our times on the other. It is crucial to present this working framework of governance to all of you, if only because of one all-encompassing reason. We will be facing the challenges of unifying our province together. And if we commit to bridge the gaps between expectations and reality, we might as well, at this very outset, all agree that we're all in one boat. So it's either we sink together or sail on to new frontiers of governance. Even if the actions we will be taking are unprecedented, even if the actions we will be taking are those that require us to enter uncharted territories. One where we can exercise political will that is courageous and pragmatic at the same time. One where the new administration respects and acknowledges the gains of the past administration, even as it is proactive to change the old ways of doing things, the ones that simply do not work. One that is evidence-based in coming up with the much-needed programs and projects, even as it is not afraid to be creative, to innovate and adapt, pursuant to the demands of the problems that have to be solved. Ladies and gentlemen, in the discharge of this responsibility,
I pledge my commitment to deliver not only to the best of my abilities as a legislator, but according to what is actually called for and expected of me. But this ideal can never work if the environment is one that is highly politicized. Immediately after the elections, I personally talked to Governor Noel Rosal and explained to him that for the fulfillment of our common aspirations for the people of Albay, there must be an honest-to-goodness partnership between the executive, which he heads, and the local legislature under my helm. I am happy to report to each and every one of you here present that we have a new governor who understands how important it is to be united in this post-pandemic new normal by having a provincial legislature that is one with him in his mission and vision. Dakilang salamat sa Gov. Noel sa gabos tabit na pag-intindi mo sa sapuyang mga sentimento right after the elections. With the help of our local top chief executive in the province, the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay has no majority for leader. It has no minority for leader. Why is this so? Because now we have a super majority where all board members will be working together as one. And every single one of them is assured of a committee chairmanship. The executive and the SPA has truly set an example how to move forward and unite and how to set aside political boundaries to attain the highest common goal. Ano po ba ang goal natin? To have a better provincial government run by better leaders that will result in better lives for all Albayanos. In recent history, we were all called upon to overcome the myriad of obstacles and challenges that tested both the limits of our leadership skills and our resolve to be kinder and more compassionate human beings. Perhaps this is the silver lining of this global pandemic. Much has been done. Totoo po yun. Marami na po tayong nagawa. But much is left to be done. I am an optimist at heart and my great faith in our ability to overcome as Albayanos endures. Our pandemic experience was filled with big and small acts of heroism. From community leaders up to the highest officials, we have proof and evidence of the collective and concerted efforts to survive and overcome and thrive as a people once again. Kinaya po natin during the pandemic, nagtagumpay tayo in big ways and small ways. Kaya tabi ako mahiling na rason mo niyan, na normalize na kita, na why we can build on the gains of the past and to make the present and future much better for every one of us. But while the pandemic disrupted our growth momentum, we are already seeing signs of recovery. As we continue to work towards the safe reopening of the economy, the way forward for us is to build back better and sustain the course to have a better future for our province. To maximize our gaining momentum, we shall embark on a mission towards stronger and sustained economic recovery. We should revitalize consumer-driven agricultural economy to boost demand and empower production capacities such as those in the farming and fishing sectors, and create jobs and services to meet the recovery in demand. It is imperative to have more investments, to have more jobs, for the people to have improved income, and a cycle of sustained and growing economic activities. Our fight against poverty, unemployment, climate change, and negative impacts of COVID-19 continues, so we need to have the best governance fundamentals in place. So again, ano po ito? The health of all Albayanos has to take center stage. I fully support the full implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program in the province of Albay. We should continue to modernize the equipment and infra facilities of our district and provincial hospitals. We will strive to focus on a workable primary healthcare system that is integrated. Our full attention is needed to address the proper distribution of general healthcare resources, like the constant supply of medicines, increasing the number of healthcare practitioners that will be employed by the province, like doctors, nurses, medical technologists, dentists, nutritionists, and so on and so forth. I'm happy that last week Governor Noel Rosal visited our hospitals here in Albay and has discovered firsthand the much needed reforms in our hospital care system. So, palakpakan po natin si Governor Noel Rosal. Importante yun tabi na maramang taga-boss maski kitatabi kapitan, konsehal, vice mayor, mayor, board member, vice governor, governor, tapos tabi kita local official. So kaya po tabi ko kitang connection sa tao. And I think the governor wanted to take the lead na ipahilin sa tuya the boss na kaipuhan kita at the forefront. Yan kita pilnya sa grassroots. And I'm happy that he was accompanied by board member Vince Baltazar and board member Bill Ziga Jr. Palagpakan po natin mga sumama sa governor sa kanyang hospital visit. In connection to this, we will adopt the One Hospital Command Program to further simplify the process of providing our constituents with rescue and medical interventions in times of emergency. To facilitate a comprehensive and coordinated response to the COVID-19 pandemic by ensuring effective and efficient health facility referral. This will reduce the waiting time of patients by referring them to the appropriate health facility that could best provide the level of care that they require. This includes the ease of medical transport and patient pickup arrangements. We also aim to optimize the use of critical care services of all the available hospitals in the province. One of our main priorities is also education. There's a need to expand provincial scholarship programs to make it more inclusive and accessible to all sectors, particularly the underprivileged. Education gives people hope, confidence, and dignity. It adds knowledge to a person, and this knowledge equips them to escape poverty. It saves lives and help the growth of our economy. We strive to give a free education to those in need. Incentives will be given to those students who will study with full zeal, honesty, and commitment. We will make sure that education will not get hampered due to insufficient financial support. This acts as a life-saving support system for many students. It will keep their dreams alive. So let us help achieve them. Let us not waste a bright student's future due to financial incapacity. In the agricultural sector, the APAW needs to strengthen the potential of farm centers in the cities and municipalities. It needs to intensify the drive towards farm mechanization, provide correct and adequate labor support to farmers to help increase agricultural production and promote rice self-sufficiency. This will allow our farmers to sustain the needs of their families, especially during lean times. We will formulate programs, seminars, and training activities to help educate farmers to enhance their knowledge in the production of their products. We will have a support early childhood care and development law or ordinance by leading the accreditation of preschool private learning centers to ensure that quality education services are extended to early grade learners. Have a full range of health, nutrition, early education, and social service development programs that will provide for the basic holistic needs of children and to promote their optimum growth and development. In the social services delivery, we will put into operation the sectoral offices of the solo parents, local youth development council, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and women. Provide technical staff support in each sector, develop a control center that is responsible for the development and maintenance of each office, and perform other tasks as may be assigned. To improve the services of the Provincial Center for Women and Children, which is in refuge for abused women and children, we must provide a safe environment for them, which will ensure their safety and full recovery. Enable them to acquire a sustained capacity to recover and be able to live a productive life. This includes assessment for their development. To expand the scope of services of our nationally acclaimed OBSMG, we must improve further on our disaster management by managing resources, including manpower, to effectively match the emergency needs of our constituents. We also plan to offer scholarships for the dependents of non-returning and displaced or Ws, barangay leaders, barangay health workers, persons with disabilities, and train more young college undergraduates and out-of-school youth to equip them for work in the business process outsourcing or the call center industry. I will fully support the return to school program that will enable the students to cope with learning gaps caused by the pandemic. Support the conduct of board training programs through sports clinics to train for aspiring homegrown athletes. Increase the number of seed banks all over the province to develop certified quality rice and vegetable seeds for massive planting. Provide reliable and locally generated energy to every household. Every small, medium, and micro enterprise and every large-scale industry at a reasonable cost. Not only will we be self-sufficient in food and water, but also be self-sufficient in power. So kapalaot natin yung problema, and si Mayor Noel, Governor Noel na po sana ang ma-explain kayo sa Indo in the next few weeks to come. We will forge collaborations to maximize investments and livelihood opportunities for communities while preserving the environment. Construct and implement a development plan for wildlife sanctuary to develop spatial and aesthetic advantages while preserving the natural wildlife environment. Facilitate economic growth in rural areas to the establishment of cooperatives. Train them in skills and values to be our development and environmental partners. Double our efforts to increase revenues for finance priority development initiatives and projects, upgrade administrative and fiscal management, and pursue plans to digitize systems from planning, budgeting, accounting, procurement, and taxation to property valuation, including the system of payments and collection of revenues to make it more efficient and transparent. The doors of my office are always present. I do not pretend to be an expert on any of the things I mentioned. That is why I would welcome department heads going to my office to explain to me what is the game plan for the specific advocacies as department heads. I'm happy that we have in store for us a very active provincial administrator, because as we all know, the provincial administrator is the alter ego of the governor. So he must be as active, he must be as committed, he must be as indefatigable. So palapakan po natin our coming provincial administrator, Rico Salazar. We must aim to unite the government and private sectors. Collaboration is our greatest resource. It is the things that we can do together that will acquire the best results. Public-private partnerships will be institutionalized, especially in the agricultural sector. Dapol na po ako ng mga korporasyon, darapol ako ng korporasyon na maya dati magbisita sa Albay, manugod sa agrikultura. So let us open our doors to improve our agricultural sector even more. The accomplishment of all of this requires more than just words. It requires the key component in democracy, which is unity. We must step up, join forces, and serve with humility, gratitude, and love. We will not waste this chance to raise our advocacy to higher levels. I take this responsibility for the growth and progress of our province, but I will have a shared responsibility with each and everyone here present, especially my colleagues at the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay, who I would like to play a really more active role in this 14th Sangguniang. Kaya kung tabi ang talento nito, ang higos nito, ang sa indong inputs, kapalaang tabing bagay sa paggaganaan po ang sa tuyong mga programa at proyekto. Together, let us be the change that we need. Together, let us be the province that is undivided. United, let us stand as one. Let us succeed as one Albay. Diyos mabalos po sa inyo to, boss.
Thank you, Vice Governor Greco Lagman. I now toss back the chair to our presiding officer.
Thank you very much, Senior Board Member Glenda Bonggao. So, Madam Secretary, what is our next item in an order of business? Yes, of course. Governor Rizal, I hope you have the time to listen to the individual inaugural addresses of our respective board members because each one of them has a special advocacy. Yes. Okay, so at this point, before I acknowledge one by one our honorable board members, I would like to also, dear Governor, acknowledge our media partners. Palapakan mo natin mga media partners natin. And of course, Governor, our unheralded, sinasabi sa nasa background natin, yung mga pag-inibata sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay, Secretariat na lang po on stage. Dito sa Inaugural, led by Secretary Grace Magdamig. So at this point, I would like to invite to the rostrum up here on stage our senior board member, Honorable Glenda Combongo, for her inaugural address.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Today marks the beginning of my second term for the second round as board member of the 1st District of Albay. Sino po ba ang mag-aakala na ang una kong inaugural address noong 2007 ay masusundan pa at aabot sa ikalimang pagkakataon? Truly, nothing you have is by luck or chance. It's always God's grace and favor. And I thank God every day for everything. Sa aking pangatlong gobernador na pagsisilbihan, ang napakasipag Honorable Noel E. Rosal, sa aming napakagaling na presiding officer, Vice Governor Edsel Greco Lagman, honorable members of the August Body, Secretariat, our friends and families in the gallery. I have to mention my mama, yaon po si mama, my husband Jomar, my daughter Ika, and of course Adam. My fellow workers and officials in the province of Albay, our friends from media, other guests, ladies, gentlemen, and all genders in between. Magayon na hapon sa Tuya Gabos. My legislative agenda will focus on what for me really matters. Gusto ko pong padagos na tauan ng importansya ang mga legislative measure na mas mapakusog sa estado kan mga kababaihan, kaakian, LGBTQ+ community, asin kan lambang pamilyang albayano, ngali mas mapakusog pa ang satuyang probinsya. Ang kusog kan sa mga probinsya nagpupuol sa makusog na komunidad. Asin ay makusog na komunidad, mapuon man kang makusog kung makusog ang lambang saro. I took pride in some of the legislative landmarks of the 13th Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay, namely my Forever sa Albay, granting cash incentives to married couples who have reached 50 years of their marriage. This ordinance seeks to recognize the importance of marriage in strengthening the Albayano family, thus empowering our community. The Albay Anti-Soji Discrimination Ordinance, a first of its kind in Bicol region. This ordinance recognizes the equality of everyone regardless of their Soji. No one shall be discriminated because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. Institutionalizing programs for solo parents in Albay as mandated by the Solo Parent Act of the Philippines. And enacting the manual for operation of the Bahay Pag-asa for Girls under the provincial government of Albay, the only accredited in Bicol region. I have to acknowledge the presence of my PSWDO family here, Dr. Eva Granida and Miss Ching Sea. Sisimulan ko po ang panibagong mandatong ito na puno ng kasiyahan dahil una sa lahat, makakasama ko ang aking anak, Board Member Gio Ongbongao, dito sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay, kahit po sa maikling panahon lamang. Isa po itong pambihirang pagkakataon at malaking karangalan sa aming mag-ina. Pangalawa, I'm so excited to be working with Governor Noel E. Rosal. Rest assured that I will be supportive in all your programs, and I'm with you, your goal, in making Albay a better place for every Albayano. Pangatlo, the new set of Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay, headed by Vice Governor Edsel Grex Lagman. Ako po ay makikipagtulungan sa inyo at susuporta sa inyong legislative agenda. With our able presiding officer, I'm looking forward of having a healthy discussion with you. There will be moments that we will not agree on the same things and probably have an opposing view on different matters. Nonetheless, we will be judged not by the things we stood for, but by the things we have given in for the sake of our people. Ako po ay naniniwala na ang batayan ng tunay na leader ay hindi sa kung gaano siya kahusay at katalino, kundi sa kung paano siya makitungo sa bawat taong makakasalubong mo, makakausap mo, at makakatrabaho mo. To the SPA employees, the Secretariat, and my staff that I will be dealing with every day, we are partners. Kasama ko po kayo mula noon hanggang ngayon, we are family actually. Sa mga taong padagos, napili mo po akong maswerte sa 265,019 registered voters ng primer distrito ng Albay, lalo na po sa 119,004 na nagtiwala sa kuya. Salamat sa inyo dahil sa ikatulong pagkakataon na po ata giraray ang senior board member nunyan after 2007 and 2013. Ang sa inyong pagpadaba, tunay na inagbabago. Most especially to my family, relatives, friends, and supporters, to the Lagman and Bursa family for their continued support and confidence in me. I have to mention Mayor Crisel Lagman here, and of course Congressman Ed Lagman. I would also like to say thank you to former Governor Al Francis Bechara for allowing me to push and advance my legislative agenda. To our presiding officer and our Vice Governor Rex Lagman for all the guidance and inspiration you have set for all of us. Our former colleagues in the 13th Sangguniang, Board Member Neil Montaliana, Board Member Pen Imperial, nandito po si BMPM, Board Member JP Lee, and Board Member Giselle Salceda for their service to Albayanos. Ultimo po, sa tuyang pagtatarabangan o sa tuyang pagtatarabangan po na ang probinsya ng Albay maging lugar kung saan may patas na paghiling sa lambang saro anuman ang sa iyang estado, kulor, edad, asin sexualidad. Albay is land of beauty, but to be beautiful means having the power to be real and express ourselves for what we are, and will never be afraid to show who we are. Sa Giraray, magayon na aldaw po sa Tuya Gabos, ini po si Baby Glenda On Bugao. Matutuwa ang mga staff ko nito. My staff call me Senyora. Now, reporting for duty.
Okay, up next is Honorable Board Member Dante R. Arandia.
First of all, I would like to greet our distinguished guests of honor who are present today, Honorable Governor Noel Rosal, also the members of the media, the department head, secretariat, my colleagues, to all Albayano, good afternoon. I stand before you humble with a grateful heart. I have been sworn into office as member of the provincial board for the 3 times. I've been part of the election starting with my leadership as municipal mayor of municipality of Inaugural and Albay. In my bid for provincial and our province for 3 terms, thankfully I have always emerged victorious in all these elections. However, I would definitely say that all of the provincial board bid was the toughest of it all, as I ran as independent candidate. Today's inaugural ceremony marks the 3rd leg of my journey as member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of our beloved province. On this momentous occasion, I would like to express my gratitude to God, the Supreme Lawmaker, for guiding me as I look part of his 3 previous Sangguniang to show. There are many people here who play a crucial role in my life. Time does not allow to mention everyone by name, but each of you knows I will always be grateful for you in support. I don't want to recognize my loving family who were a constant source of encouragement and support to me. Now, I have come this far. This is my 3rd term. I express my thanks and gratitude to our constituent for giving me a fresh mandate of legislative branch of provincial government. To my colleagues in a previous term, and for my new colleagues, I want to say this again. Your eagerness and positive attitude, the high degree of cooperation which you have shown during our previous activities have given me confidence and assurance that the next 3 years will be just fine. Concurrent with the new provincial and national leadership, we are placed in the situation where expectation of our people for change is so high. We cannot do otherwise except to align our vision and our legislative agenda with the aspiration of our people. From this administration, I call on its member that in so doing, the guiding principle of our choice do not rest on personal interest, but upon the faith in ourselves and our commitment to perform the task given to us by our conscience with a passion and sincerity. We have so much work ahead of us, especially in drafting of the necessary legislative measures. Many of which have already been in place, but we need to enact numerous local legislation necessary to align leadership program of government. In so doing, I place toward an aim of harmonizing legislative and legislative agenda revolving around addressing poverty, maintaining peace and order, social services, economic development, among others. I'm sure that in our voyage ahead, we will bump into all types of weather. Once again, I really with the harmonizing of legislative and executive legislative branch of government, the support of the department heads and employees, the participation of civil society, organization and other people of our life. With our faith in God and trust in each other, I believe we can rise to the challenge that might confront us. Surely we will reach the shore and complete our work. To God be glory, mabuhay ang Sangguniang Panlalawigan, mabuhay ang Albayan.
Up next to deliver her inaugural address is Honorable Attorney Board Member Melissa Abadeza Armidilla.
pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. To my ninong, to the Governor Noel Rizal, to my panyero, Attorney Greg Lagman, to my fellow board members from the 3rd District of Albay, as well as for the ex-official members, to the SP Secretariat, to the beloved and hard-working employees of the PGA, to all our guests, to the media, to the elected officials, to everyone who are here today, a wonderful afternoon to all of us. I can vividly recall year 2010 when I first entered the world of politics at the age of 25. As councillor of Legazpi City, and until this very moment that I'm here in front of you as the board member of the 2nd District of Albay for my second term. Then was not an easy victory, neither as we consider as today as hard as it was. And so before anything else, it is prudent of me to first express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you. I may not be able to mention each and every one of the 115,610 who voted for me, but please indulge me as I give my words of appreciation to the people who played a huge role as I make it this time again. To Almighty, who put all my trust, unceasingly guiding me, protecting me, and making things possible. May all of this according to your will. To my family, may not be complete as usual because of what recently happened to my nephew who just passed away this early morning. But allow me to thank my entire family, especially my mother, who is present this afternoon, to Mama, Kagawad Esther, and to the rest of my family. Thank you so much for always being there, supporting me, praying for me, and loving me. Of course, to my Father in heaven, you were such a wonderful and a great Father and a great mentor. I wouldn't be here if not because of you, Papa. To my husband, of course, to Oliver, thank you for always giving me the strength, for showering me with love, and for helping me all throughout the journey. To my staff, of course, for all your patience, for all your hard work, thank you very much. And of course, I wouldn't miss the opportunity to thank each and every of my leaders and every one of you for helping me out in making me this far. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. To God be all the glory. As we start heading to the commitment and duties as a member of the 14th Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Albay, allow me to give some of my significant legislative agenda. This won't come handy as we are not part of the executive branch, but nonetheless, as the voice of the district, allow me to just propose some points to ponder as legislators and of course as partner of our governor in providing the much needed support for the Albayanos. From the moment I became a public servant, and especially now that we are being challenged of the upshot of the pandemic, to my opinion, there are some aspects that I would like to emphasize and give utmost attention as part of my legislative agenda. And I'm just very glad that hearing the inaugural message of our governor and the rest of the members who already gave their inaugural message, I am very glad that most of the things that I will have to say are already part of the priority plans of our governor. First, for our health system, when COVID-19 came, there was huge realization that we are lacking indeed the health services to move up with the needs of the Albayanos. With that, I can fairly say that much attention is needed in providing an equipped and accessible health facility. And in order to lessen the financial burden and anxiety of securing medical attention, it's high time to revisit the beneficiaries of the PhilHealth Samasa. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there are a lot of families which needs to be enrolled in this health card services. And possibly let us also incentivize, compensate our frontliners commensurate to their work from the risk they are taking and the dedication of their work. Second, for the education, I know this is more of a national issue, but we can still do something in our own way. We often hear providing quality education everywhere, but at some point, this has become more far from reality, when students are no longer allowed inside the classrooms to learn and interact with their fellow students. I am a product of a face-to-face way of education, from public school in particular. And I can still say that nothing beats learning from actual schooling and developing the character and personality of the next generation through interaction. With much hesitation from the students, parents, and perhaps from the teachers, we in the legislative branch of the government, we can help out by expressing our sentiments of support for more careful, ready, and conducive face-to-face learning. May mean more funds, but in a way, it would provide additional classrooms that will lessen the number of students in every class. And of course, may be common to hear, but providing more funds for more scholarship opportunities, educational assistance, which I believe should be extended more, not only to the qualified students, so to speak, with grades, but to those who are really belonging to the underprivileged family. Third, providing livelihood opportunities. And in this aspect, let me include fishing and agriculture. One primary question that we also need to answer is how is the economy of the province can cope up to the effect of pandemic that is being worsened by the unending increase of the crude oil. For now, we cannot do away with our dependency from this oil. But I believe that through legislation for our farmers, fisher folks, if not to provide subsidy to some of the things they need for fishing and farming, like fertilizer, fish net, bangka, we can tie up to a memorandum of agreement with other government agencies, private sector, in providing quality yet cheaper prices for what they need, and the end goal of helping them trade their products on a better price. If the local government will be there, hand in hand with these local farmers, fishermen, I can say that they have a better bargaining stand. After all, Albay is not an industrial area, but that of agriculture and fishing. Malapit na po akong matapos. For my last aspect that I want to touch, and probably this is an important issue in the province, which I believe as part of the legislative, we have also our own point of concern and have something to say over this too. Quarry and electricity. Being a resident of Barangay Ita, a barangay which is near Mayon, Volcano, a lawyer and a board member of the 2nd District of Albay, through a legislation, there is a need to revisit the ordinance and other pertinent laws that covers the issuance of permit and operation thereto. Inasmuch as the province, particularly our governor, responsible and looking primarily on this, let us not forget that the counterpart or contribution of various municipalities, cities, and even barangays in the issuance of the needed requirements before the governor can completely approve one's permit. Maybe each needs to be more circumspect in issuing the respective resolution of endorsement, same way as that of the other requirements like that of the ECC of the federal. With this, there could be a need to make an amendment to meet the needs of Albay over that ordinance, maybe by addition or omission. Remember, Albay is fortunate enough to have this what we call the black gold. But we have to make use of this potential without compromising the welfare of the Albayanos. As for electricity, it's about time probably that we echo the clamor through a resolution asking the Congress to give more incentive to LGUs who are the source of this energy. This will not only provide reasonable price, but also an ample supply of electricity for the Albayanos, without also disregarding the fact that the management thereto should be pushed to provide an improved mechanism for better electricity services. As member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay, I implore my colleagues for us to be united in carrying out the best programs, projects, and important measures for our province. May those aforementioned